everybody, this is Aunt Cheri from Crafty Fun with Aunt Cheri, and today we have a really simple project for you. In fact, if you're one of the older ones, you may feel like this is a little bit too simple, and that's okay. It really is simple, but I wanted to have a really easy project for today. So I want you to pull out your week 9, and inside you will find these bookmarks. Now we're not going to go over one of our verses today, but I hope you're still working on them and that I have heard several of them get said, and you guys are doing a great job. So pull out your week 9 and find your bookmark. Now, if your bookmark is like mine, these little legs on the bookmark are pretty weak. So I was thinking, boy, that is going to fall apart. What can I do to fix it? And I came up with a solution. You're going to have to be kind of careful, but I think it's something that you can do to make yours a little bit stronger. I want you to get out your glue stick if you have it. If you don't, you can use drippy glue, but again, be really super careful because this might rip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it to the wrong side like that, and this part is to put as pages in your book. You want to be careful that you don't glue that part down, because then it won't work. Now you see these two little holes. I have some string, and I don't know if you have string. Maybe you can ask your mom if she has some string you could use, or maybe some yarn might work, or maybe some of the ribbon I sent you might work. But I'm going to start by cutting a piece of my string. This is called baker's twine, and I'm just going, you can't see me doing that off the camera, but there we go. So I cut a piece, and I am going to turn it where the front side is, and this part's going to go out like this. So I am going to put it in there and tie a bow. Now if you use some of the ribbon that I sent you, be sure and choose one of them that's really super narrow or thin. Don't choose one of the thicker ones because it won't fit in the hole very well. This is really better for string or yarn, but some of that little tiny ribbon I sent might work. You might want to ask your mom for help if you have trouble with this part. But I am just going to tie a bow to start with, just because I like bows and I like ribbons and I like twines. If you haven't learned to tie yet, I'm sure your mom or someone else in your family can help you. Okay, so I've tied the bow just like that, and I have a cute little bow. Are you guys ready for school to start? I know that some of you are probably starting very soon. Heath will start in a few more weeks, and Elise is going to start college in a few more weeks, if you can believe that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is turn it back over to the back side, and I'm going to use my glue. Now, remember, I don't want this piece that's flapping. I just want to go around the outside edges of that. Okay, and then I also want to go on my, I can't decide from this picture if this is a chicken or a duck, but whatever it is, I'm going to, I think it's supposed to be a rooster with that tail feather like that. Now, if you are not one of my kids, just know that I cut these using the, I think it was Animal Kingdom, has all these animal bookmarks. And the kids that are my little kids, the ones that I sent to all my nieces and nephews and stuff, are, they have all sorts of things. Some of them have monkeys, some of them have hippos. I think there's some kangaroos in there, there's some birds, there's just all sorts of things. So that's just what we have on ours. But you could just even free text or free cut a bookmark and then glue an animal to the top, or other cartridges. If you're a Cricut person, other cartridges have it. Okay, so back to the video with the little guys. So now I'm going to cut around the bottom part where it's rounded. I'm going to cut, but instead of trying to cut around the little bird that I have, and if you have a gorilla, the gorilla, I'm just cutting it like this and leaving it straight just like that, because that little bird is just very flimsy, and this will make him stronger. Okay, so now I'm ready to pull out my colored pencils and start coloring. So I think I am going to get a red, and I'm going to color this part red up here, and you can color whatever color you want. This is just the colors I'm using. And let's see, I think I'm gonna get a brown, maybe a couple browns. I think I've got 2 different browns here. And I'm just gonna color him. Let's color him really lightly in the face. And this little part down here kind of reminds me of this little thing on his neck. Does anybody know what that's called? I believe it's called a wattle. Not 100% sure. I'm not an animal person, but I bet some of you know what it's called. I'm just coloring in circles, trying to make it look all pretty. I'm coloring his face kind of light though, because I want to draw an eye on him. Okay, now I'm just going to color one of his little tail feathers that light color. Just like that. And I'm going to go back and color the other 2 the darker color. That just gives some variety if we add different colors to it to mix it up. Not a big difference, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back and add some of this dark color to some of the shadowy parts, like on his belly, on the bottom, and around this wattle, or whatever that thing's called. Let's see, maybe I'll color his legs orange. Now you can use whatever paper you have that's really stiff to use on the back, like I did. This is just cardstock paper. You may have some in the kits that I gave you. And then let's make an eye for him. Actually, we'll give him 2 eyes because he seems to be facing right at us. And kind of, let's see, I think I'm even going to draw a beak on him. I'll tell you, you're about to find out, Aunt Cheri is not a very good artist. I don't draw well. I like to do lots of crafty things, but drawing is definitely not something I do a lot. Alright, and then let's just kind of, I don't even know if that's what a chicken looks like. I should go look because my neighbors have chickens. I just saw them when I was out looking in my garden at the different things. I picked 3 tomatoes and a big old squash from my garden. And I have lots of tomatoes out there that are green, not quite red. Okay, so there's my little chickie guy, all polished. Now I think I am going to get a marker or a pen and put my name in the middle. Do you like to read? Reading is so much fun. You can go anywhere you want in the pages of a book. You can go to far off places. You can go to the lands of make-believe. You can go to real lands. You can see the way different people live in other countries. All you have to do is get on the pages of a book and you can learn so much. Reading is so good for you, and you become a smarter person the more you read. And even if you're not old enough to read, that's okay. You're getting ready to learn to read when your mom reads to you. And I know some of you can read, because I even had one of you call me on the phone one time and read, I think it was 10 apples up on top. You'll have to remind me. You know who you are. Over Skype, he called me over the computer and read me the whole book when he was just learning to read. Reading is so much fun. It takes a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. But anything in life is worth having hard work. And so now you have your very own bookmark, just like mine or similar. Maybe it's really different, but it's a bookmark that you made that you can put in your book. It can be a Bible book. It can be a Bible. It can be a book about animals, a book about numbers. It can be a book about mountains, or a book about states, or a book about princesses, or a book about pirates. Any book that you have, you can put a bookmark in it, and then you don't lose your place. Guys, thanks for stopping by today, and remember, I love you. And we'll be back next week for the final one of these, and then after that, we're just going to do one a month. So I'll talk to you later. Love you all. Bye.